This is a predict video for Kenichi, the Midas Disciple, episode 40, 41, 42, and 43, including the opening we got to watch after, or during 41. So click in the link in the description below to go watch my reaction and then come back here to see my full thoughts and ideas and theories about these episodes and everything and such and stuff that happened in them. So click away now or be spoiled as to what happened in these episodes. Okay, so joining me as always is Try, and he'll be talking in chat like always. So where to start? I think we should probably talk about Odin and everything. I can't remember what, like, was that like the first couple episodes was the whole, yeah, it was, because like we learned about the kids and everything. Yeah, so 40 was when we learned about them as kids, and then 41 was the opening, and the opening had them as kids in the opening. So that's the reason why we watched the opening. So yeah, it's so silly. Freaking Miyu keeping it to herself until the very like second like Kenichi like remembered it. Is so like so freaking silly. And then freaking Odin or sorry, no, Kenichi not remembering a freaking damn thing about the whole thing until like this very moment. Like like all these like things came together for this one moment of them like reminiscing of the past and everything like that. Like Miyu was stringing him along, like she knew the entire time who he was and where he got the pin and everything. But she was like, maybe we should restep or yeah, retrace your steps and all stuff like that. Like it's so silly. Like he could have just told him, but I guess maybe even then he wouldn't even know. Like I don't know. I guess retracing his steps did, I guess, help to some degree. But yeah, the whole walking around, seeing each other's as kids, like what they did was really cool. Like Miyu's like training whatever with her grandpa, going through the city, like breaking the pole, and oh gosh, what else was it? There was something else that they were doing as well. It was really fun to see that. But yeah, Odin coming up and telling him his story. So Odin was apparently shorter than Kenichi as a kid, and apparently kinder. But then Odin said Kenichi was kinder, I think. Um, so maybe that was just kind of like a perception kind of thing for the two of them. Um, but yeah, Odin somehow changed um, his whole life, I guess. Like, okay, the whole event with Miyu attacking the three guys in the store, that had a different effect on both Kenichi and Odin. That was both like Kenichi saw it as, did he even say what he thought about it? I think he was just like it was like a cool to him, right? Like, but like Odin saw it as like a whole other level. She's like, this is what like martial arts is, like, to like defeat and be the grand master of like everything kind of thing. So he was his philosophy on life like changed that day. It didn't change for Kenichi until much later. He didn't really go after martial arts like day one right then, but I bet you Odin did. Um, so it was really interesting to see like their story and everything, and how it all makes sense and everything now. Though the only bit that does not make sense now, right now, is Odin gave Kenichi uh, a yin yang pin that was all dirtied up, and he bent it and everything and threw it at Kenichi, saying this one's for losers. I wonder if that is the other bet that Kenichi and Odin had with each other that they never mentioned so far. Only so I guess officially, I think only Odin knows it because I think Kenichi forgot about it. Um, but apparently there was a good pin and a bad pin. Kenichi has a good pin. Odin had the bad pin until he won the duel with Kenichi, and then he switched the pins basically. And the I'm not sure which pin it was, but Miyu gave Kenichi a pin for his cat pin. Um, so I'm wondering if Miyu's pin was like the clean one, or was Miyu's pin like, I'm guessing it is a clean pin. That's kind of like my theory on it. Like that's got to be the clean pin, and that maybe like my like some kind of like random theory I had in my head was maybe Kenichi and Odin had some kind of fight as a kids to see who would be better kind of thing or whatever, and to see because like I'm assuming Odin and Kenichi both um, opened up the pin machine thing with the quarter or whatever coin, got a pin. I'm guessing I don't know because well Odin was the one who opened the cat one, right? And then he didn't want it anymore, so maybe Odin to open two. He got two pins because my theory is he opened up two pins. One of them was a cat. One of them was a kind of the one yin yang symbol, all dirty and everything. And he didn't like that one, but he kept it. But he gave the cat pin to Kenichi, which he gave and then Kenichi gave the cat pin to Miyu, which then Miyu gave her yin yang symbol to Kenichi, and that happened to be a clean one, like all like not scuffed or anything. And so I'm thinking maybe Odin and Kenichi had or Odin was upset that he got a clean one and he got a messed up one, so they maybe had like a fight or whatever like that to see who would win between them kind of thing, and the winner gets to keep the clean one or whatever. And then maybe they had like a duel back then, and Kenichi won because he's bigger. And then so on and so forth, went on with their lives kind of thing. Ultimately, my original theory when I was watching the episode, I felt like it might have been something to do with the boys falling for Miyu, like at a young age, and they wanted to kind of make a bet with each other to like if you win against whatever the scenario, then the winner gets to talk to Miyu, whatever. And then like that was kind of my original theory, but that never like was talked about at all. So I'm not sure if that's ever like a thing that the boys had, like they were like falling for Miyu because like what she did in the shop and everything. I don't know. I do kind of have like a lot of kind of thoughts running through my head on what the pin might mean and all that kind of stuff, and why is it dirty and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. So hopefully soon, or I guess near the end of the show when we actually like between now and the end of the show, I'm hoping we get to see what that pin represents and like why is it there kind of thing. So yeah. Was the guy in the forest? Was that uh was that Odin's master? Yes. Okay, so I was right. Okay. Like for some reason, I couldn't remember if the voice matched up or not, because I haven't seen the Sage for like a couple episodes since we've seen that. Um, it's been a little while since we've seen the Sage, so I kind of forgot his name or his not his name, his voice, because we did like hear a little bit of his voice like on one like bit when we were talking to Hermit. I think Hermit was talking about him and how he saved him and all kind of stuff that or came to him, or something like that. I think I can't remember if it was Odin or if it was Hermit that was talking about this, like the Sage guy, and then like had like a cutscene with the Sage, um, like dealing like very easily with like thugs or whatever. Anyways, I feel yeah okay. Now thinking back at it, it was Hermit, because Hermit was talking about how a bunch of dudes were trying to sign over the company because Hermit like was inheriting everything. And then the Sage came in and like dealt with all of them like very easily. So that's what I was trying to remember. I remember it now, but yeah. So yeah, that was 100% the Sage. I knew it like going into it. Like I had a feeling he was a Sage because of his hair and all that kind of stuff. Uh, and he kind of like yeah, I don't know. It's just like it was good storytelling to have him train under the Sage for as brief the time he did. But now Sage knows that Kenichi is a disciple of the dojo and everything, and he knows all about that. That's pretty intense, though, that we now know that the leader of or I guess the master of the Ragnarok group or whatever is or used to be the first disciple of the dojo that Kenichi's at. Like that's so intense. Like holy crap. There's tons of freaking great moments in that episode with Kenichi fighting in the forest and everything, like the bear Sage coming in and just wrecking the bear hard freaking core, and then just kept going, like just like kept like beating the crap out of the bear. Yeah, the chase scene was awesome. Like I like when he started climbing up the tree, I'm like, nope, that's not gonna work. It's like when he's falling asleep or trying to play dead, it's like, nope, that's not gonna work, and all this kind of stuff. That was pretty hilarious. Oh gosh, there's other things too. The master trying to teach him like certain things in the forest and everything, like the breeze and everything, like on the back of his neck. Like that was a good way to teach him about the bubble around him or whatever. So it looks like he's starting to master it. Well, not master it, but he's starting to kind of gain knowledge and that like technique and everything. So it's gonna be cool to see what he does with it um, later on, basically. Basically to fight Odin. He's gonna use that to fight Odin. I'm wondering if he's gonna actually start to master it a little bit more and actually use it against the other fists, like Berserker or the other girl. Can't remember her name. Crap. She was I want to say Valkyrie, but the Valkyrie's eighth. She's not Valkyrie. She's oh, she's shoot. What's her name? She's Freya. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was closing my eyes trying to remember, and I like looked up and tried to said it. Um, yeah. So she's Freya. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Kenichi uses it again. Well, I guess for one thing, Kenichi's not gonna fight Freya. He doesn't fight girls, so that's gonna be interesting to see what he does there. Um, I can definitely see him guarding against Freya, but he would never attack her. Um, so it's gonna be interesting to see what he does with Freya. But Berserker he can go ham on basically. But I can definitely see Berserker being a problem. He's so like calm and collective, and just seems like an all around badass basically. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he fights and how he fights. Um, and also Freya fights. Well, we kind of know that Freya fights with the weapon. We're not sure yet. Do we know what like Berserker fights like? His style? Like he kind of looks like a kickboxer, but at the same time, like maybe fist fighter kind of style. Like maybe both. Like I don't know. He almost looks like an MMA kind of fighter. Yeah, so we're not sure what he fights like. Um, Loki is of course still trying to like claim the Ragnarok guild for himself. Guild, the group for himself. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out, and number 20 or whatever her name is, can't remember her. I think it's 20. Helping him out and everything. Then we got to see Siegfried again, him coming up with the Shimpaku Alliance and everything, joining forces with him, which is very, very cool. I called it with his shadow when we first saw his shadow pull up. When I can't remember the exact conversation they had, but someone asked like who like this guy is, or his secret weapon or whatever it was. Like they were mentioning something, and they turned to somebody and they're like, "I can't believe you got him," or something like that. And like there's like the shadow came across the ground or whatever, and it was basically Siegfried's shadow. Like I picked up on the hat shadow and everything. Um, so that's pretty cool that they got him. I actually like that Siegfried stopped Nijima from blackmailing. Like that's awesome. That's a really good move on Siegfried's part to like maintain this kind of like uh, goodwill kind of bit, because they were like hardcore freaking blackmailing her, blackmailing Valkyrie with the cat pictures, which is not really like blackmail because it's just cat pictures, right? It's just her with cat pictures, or her with cat. So it's not that bad. But I mean, like I know it's like reputation wise, people can use that against her, kind of thing. Um, where did Siegfried keep those cats? So, yeah, that's true too. Didn't he say he has like 20 dogs and cats at his house like already? Like I feel like that's freaking awesome. Um, I wonder where he lives where that's like acceptable, because isn't like some governments like hardcore like you need like some kind of pet license like to hold more. Well, I know in the states, certain states like you require a dog license just for one dog, but like more states in the U.S. like require um Like you can't have more than more than a certain amount of pets like in certain states. So if he has like 20 of cats and dogs and stuff like that, that's basically like he's like a humane society, right? Like in like a shelter. So he's got to have some kind of business, something, but I'm not sure how it works in Japan or wherever they are. Um, so I mean, they might not have like some kind of rule with that, but that's kind of what in my mind about how I was thinking about it. Um, but yeah, so it's really interesting to see him join the Shirpaki Alliance and everything, and it seems like Valkyrie's going to join them as well, under the uh, under the prize, I guess it would be, or payment of having a cat basically for herself. Um, at Siegfried's place that she can come and hang out with at any time. I loved how the moment where she sat down in the chair and she had all three cats on her. She almost looked like a super villain, right? Like some kind of like some kind of villain with like three cats that can like spin the chair and is like oh, I've been expecting you, Mr. Bond, kind of thing. Like that's like what the vibe I got when she sat down in the chair. Um, but I love the moment where the cat like stuck her head up or stuck its head up. I don't know whether it's a boy or girl. Um, and Valkyrie's face like lit up like she's like happy, and then she started like petting it, and then she got all serious again. Like that's freaking hilarious. Um, everything with Valkyrie and cats is like hilarious. Did you just assume the cat's gender? Yeah, I mean not sure. I know that one cat was a girl, right? The one in the alleyway. I feel like she said girl. Can't remember. It's been a long time. Or not a long time. It's been like more than that was last week, actually, wasn't it? The cat thing in the alley? Yeah. I feel like it was like one week ago. I feel like it was 2 weeks ago for some reason. I don't know. Um, interesting. What else do we have to talk about? Right now, Berserker is going after the Shinpaku Alliance. That's his orders from Odin. Odin gave the order to go after the Shinpaku Alliance. So that's what Berserker is going to do right now. He's going to go and fight him and everything. Siegfried and the other two guys are there. I'm assuming Kenichi will probably show up at some point. Yeah. How long do they have left in the forest? Because they said like they're going to be gone for 1 week, right? Like that was like the whole plan for the master, or yeah, the what's his name? Hayato. He said they're going to be gone for 1 week on this kind of training mission with Kenichi. So I'm wondering like how long it's been so far. Because they've gone through many days so far. Like we've saw like the time go like speed up and everything. Um, 2 or 3 days. I feel like it's more than that. I feel like it's up to like 4. Like it's because like we saw like at one point it was daytime. Kenichi got lost in the forest, and it went night, day, and then he was with Sage for a little while, and I think it went night, day as well with that. So I feel like it's about 4 or 5 days already. Like I feel like yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone can count in the comments below, like how many days it's been like in the forest so far. But that's kind of in my mind. Like, are they gonna like pick up next episode right where they left off, where you're gonna like keep training Kenichi, or are they gonna skip ahead to where they're going back to like the civilization basically, and he's gonna be like he trained off screen kind of thing. Um, I can definitely see them going either way with that. Maybe like touch and go like on his training and on how he's like training his what did they call it? Like his like aura like bit. What was that like technique called? Can't spell it. Yeah, it is. I can't remember how to. They said one word for it, and then they said a different word for it, like a longer word for it, whatever. Like it was like I can't remember. It almost seemed like they announced it. Saikuken. Saikuken. Is that how you something like that? I'm probably mispronouncing it hardcore. Um, but they had a different word for it that was like a short word. Saikuken. Okay. But they had like a short word for it. That like they kept saying, like Odin had like said it, and then Miyu said it, and then all of a sudden Kenichi said it, all in the same episode. And I don't think a single that word has ever been said in the show until this very episode. Like I think it was episode 40 when they actually like said this like phrase or whatever, like this technique with like the whole bubble thing, whatever. Like it's never been said until like this episode. Like for some reason, like in my mind, that's why I think. Um, I could be wrong. They could have said it previously, but I kind of forgot about it. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting like um ability, right? Like it's just like you're learning um the limits of your reach, and then you're kind of like have like some kind of like you can do so much with that. Basically, like everything around you is like in your reach, and you have to kind of learn how far your reach is and everything. So it's interesting. It's not like a superpower by any means. It's just like you're training your senses more so than anything. Like closing your eyes, sensing the wind around you, that kind of thing. Like it's trying to get into your reach and know your reach and train from that. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Kenichi deals with that and learns from that and everything like that. It's really cool that we actually got Hayato to come in and train him, because from the other masters they said that he's never trained anybody ever, or did train somebody? Because I felt like when we first met the whole group, I felt like Hayato trained the masters. I felt like Hayato trained Kensei and Shigure and all of them in some way or another. But I guess it's kind of revealed now that he's never trained anybody. He's never, maybe anytime soon, anyways. I know Akasame and was it Kensei? Both of them trained Sage. I think it was Kensei. I might have been wrong on that. Um, yeah, I feel like Akasame and Kensei trained Sage. I remember Akasame. He was there training Sage, or he like was in the flashback, whatever, of like training, or when they first got Sage, and into like he was Hayato was saying how they got a new disciple behind his back kind of thing. I was training him, and then he turned bad kind of thing. Like once he killed the kid or whatever like that, like um, the dark side of their like there's two sides, right? There's a fork in the road, good side, bad side. Either using it for good, for helping, defending, all that kind of stuff, or using it for bad, for killing, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see more information on Sage. I definitely want him to meet Akasame again. Like I want Sage and Akasame to meet up again, and like converse back and forth between her. I really want some more battles with the Masters. I do want them to fight people. And I would love to see a fight where it's genuine, like back and forth, one on one, 100% power, like no hold back, like they're going at it, like at 100%, and like nothing is stopping either one. They're just going at it like nonstop. Like I would love to see something like that, just to see like the sheer like speed and force of all their punches and kicks and weaponry and all that kind of stuff. Like just flying in the air as they're trying to like fight each other would be awesome. Because so far we've seen slightly a little bit here and there of the Masters like power, but not really like a full fight. It's always been like very one-sided. Like the Masters are always like the ones that are like beating somebody with like one attack, that kind of thing. So I would love to see them in a full fight. That would be freaking awesome. Did I miss anything to talk about in these episodes? I feel like I touched on mostly everything. Mostly everything. I feel like you did forget about something. Okay. Yeah. I think that's gonna be it. Yeah. I guess like Keiichi and Miyu basically talking to each other, and then that whole scene, like she having the key this entire time to the ankle weights or whatever. That was pretty funny. Um, there's other kind of like funny bits here and there that I can't forget. Like I forgot about immediately. But it was a fun group of episodes. I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, right now I don't know the exact number of the next week episodes. I need to get the next list and everything from Try once he gets all that set up and everything. So expect at least 3+ episodes. next week. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next week for some more Kenichi, the mightiest disciple. Thank you, everybody.